Hello and welcome back to the Motorhome Review channel. The title of the video, Why Are Campsites Empty? We tend to avoid political topics, and by political topics I don't mean actual politics.
Anything
I mean
with controversy.
Yes, we do, because obviously we've got an opinion, and if people ask us, we'll happily share our opinion, and everyone's got an opinion. But the problem is, once you start sharing your opinions, it tends to snowball. However, what I would like to do in this video is talk about a subject that's becoming a bit more of a hot topic, really. And I think it's important to get your feedback as well about what's going wrong, because we've noticed from the back end of last year and into this year, campsites are quiet, some more than others. And what's triggered this video is I saw a Facebook post.
We've seen several.
I've seen several now, but it started with a Facebook post last week by Camper UK Leisure Park, and they don't know I'm mentioning them. I'm just going to mention it because this is what got me thinking. And their Facebook post basically said, "Why are you staying away? You know, why are our pitches empty? Are we doing something wrong? Are our prices too high? Is it the cost of fuel? Is it our facilities?"
Which I must say, first of all, is really good. At least they're asking for opinion and feedback as to if something's happening within their control, can they change it? So, yeah, kudos to that. It's good to actually be saying that.
And we've stopped at that campsite, so we do know it. And obviously then people commented on this post, and it went on, and it was great to see the feedback of other people. Then I saw another post from a CL, a certified location, again a similar sort of post. So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about why we think the campsites are a lot quieter this year. I would like you to put in the comments what your thoughts are, and then we'll tell you how much we have literally spent over the last, we've had 4 nights away, and when you look at what we've spent, I can sort of see why people are staying away. So let's talk about why are the campsites so empty. So the things I'm thinking are, a big one right now is people talking about how much it costs per night. And like, we started back in 2018, didn't we? And I think per night we would have spent sort of 18 to 25 pounds on a site. CSs and CLs, certified sites and certified locations, less. I think the cheapest we ever found was about £8 a night, wasn't it? Yeah. And we would have spent maybe up to £18 a night on one of those sort of sites. So yeah, 18 to 25 pounds per night was pretty much where we were at, I think. And we used to go away a lot. Now, recently, the average I've been paying is probably around 35 to 40 pounds a night or more. I mean, we're on a club site at the moment. This has cost us just under £42 a night midweek in May. The site before that, £44.
Yeah.
Now, sites, it's hard. I don't run a campsite, but it's easy to slate campsites and look how much they're charging. I did a couple of calculations, and I looked at how much campsites potentially are costing to run per night. Per day for them. I looked at looking at their minimum wage, national insurance, pension contributions, and then electricity fees, business rates. And when I added it up, I don't know what these people actually are paying in terms of business rates, but I can work out the minimum wage. And it was sort of, for a 50 pitch campsite, I don't know, I think it could be £600 to £1,000 a day running costs. So when you look at a 50 pitch site, which isn't going to have full occupancy, let's say they're at 50%, 25 pitches, so divide £600 to £800 by 25, you can see why they're £30 or £40 a night, and they've got to make a profit. So I do get it. We recently spoke to someone who owns a campsite, and they told us, was it year before last, their electricity bill was £100,000. I nearly fell over. So when you look at that, you can sort of see where the problem exists. And I must say, I don't go on a campsite and see the owners driving around in Ferraris. So, it's not
far from it.
Far from it, yeah. So it's like there's a problem. And I think the problem's a bit more than we're being ripped off by campsite owners. I don't think it's that simple. I think there's a number of costs that have gone up for them that's passed on to us. And so that's one thing I think realistically is the price of a campsite now. The campsite owners need to make a profit, but equally the price has gone up so much, it's reducing the amount of time people are spending on campsites. That price has affected us, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other side of the coin is as well is, and I'm included in this, the naivety sometimes that I think that, oh, well, you know, somebody's got a piece of land, they've bought that piece of land, everything that they make on it's profit, and then it's until you start breaking everything down as to actually what they're using on the land and insurance liability, access, you know, all the rates that they've got going into it, until you start looking into that into a bit more detail. I didn't realise sort of the costs that, you know, were involved in running a site. I mean, like we say, we don't run a site. We've never run a site, and we don't know the exact figures that does. But
no.
You know,
So I think one reason campsites are quiet is because the cost is too expensive for a lot of people now to actually go away, and we'll come back to that when we talk about what we've just spent. So that's one thing. The second thing is the cost of fuel, diesel and petrol now. It's gone up considerably. And again, we've noticed that, haven't we? That's made us think about how far we're going, where we're going. You know, I mean, in true Yorkshire fashion, you drive where you're going and then you ring recovery and get recovered home, so you only pay for one way. But no, joking aside. So, I mean, fuel, literally, again, this will be included in this trip when I talk about that, but we spent £75 when we set off.
Yeah.
I already had about £30 in the diesel tank. I put £75 in. That literally got us to Berwick upon Tweed from Yorkshire. So we're not talking the length and breadth of the UK, we're talking from Yorkshire. And then we filled up here in Berwick to drive home, another £75. So that's the fuel just to come away to Northumberland and back for us. That's a lot of money on fuel. And
at the time of recording this, obviously, there's everything going on across the world, which is affecting fuel prices. And
diesel at the moment is about £1.78 to £1.90. So that's where we're at on diesel. So fuel costs, is fuel costs another reason why people aren't going away? And then also, just general living costs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everyone's feeling it, you know, everybody. And so you sort of wind back on what you spend on, don't you? So instead of thinking, let's go away for a weekend or a couple of nights, it's like, no, because Tesco's, Asda, M&S Food Hall, wherever you shop, Lidl, Sainsbury's, that's gone up by, well, ours has gone up phenomenally. Yeah. Ours is up 50%.
I think everybody's noticing it, you know, and it's all having an impact because everything's creeping up. And, you know, you can say that the cost of the minimum wage is going up, so people's wages are going up, and it's all, but it just doesn't feel like it's in keeping. So.
And I think, like, when you look at I know there's some sites like CLs and CSs, and generally, you know, some of them do offer much better value. A lot of them, though, may be that, especially if you're a motorhomer, and this is another thing, if you're a motorhomer and you see a campsite, it might be in the middle of nowhere, but it's £15 a night with electric, fabulous. But if it's in the middle of nowhere and you've got a big unit like us, we like to be right in the action so we can get where we're going, or we want to be able to jump on the bikes or jump on a bus. That's how we tour. A lot of motorhomers do the same. So am I going to spend £15 to go into this field, which is in the middle of nowhere, and then we're just there? We're not, to be honest, are we? So that isn't of a benefit to us. And also, if you've decided not to renew your club membership, the Camping Caravanning Club and the Caravan and Motorhome Club, you can't actually book those CLs and CSs, or you shouldn't be able to, because they are for those members. So equally, there's fewer people going to the CLs and CSs because they're not a member of the club because they've not renewed. And I was looking at that as well. You know, I'm not sure, is the caravan, is it about £69 to renew your membership yearly now? I don't know the exact number. We renewed ours a few months back now. So let's say it's £69. So you get a cheaper pitch fee, but here at Berwick, we've just paid £42 a night. So I've already paid £69 to be a member. I've then had to pay £42 a night. And I was looking at that membership, so £69. Let's say we stop on 20 club sites a night in a year, for a figure. So let you and me, 20 nights on a club site. So you divide that £69 by 20. So you're already adding over £3 a night to those 20 nights. So this has actually cost me £45 a night. I was thinking about this in bed. Maybe I should do different things in bed, but I'm thinking about this and so I'm thinking, yeah, so this pitch is actually £45 a night.
She doesn't sleep.
I don't, I have really, I just got off one. So that's another thing. So it actually is more expensive than you think. Another reason why maybe campsites are quieter, motorhomers, there's a big move from people buying caravans to buying motorhomes and camper vans. And a lot of those people do go to pub stops. They're doing motorhome stopovers. They do stop in car parks legally. Some do other things, but legally. They find off-grid spots, park at the side of a road. They literally, you know, like I say, they're camping in a different style. They're not booking a pitch. So those people that had a caravan that bought a motorhome or a camper van aren't on a pitch. They're doing a pub stop or something different. So they've been taken out of the equation. So that's another reason. I mean, again, if you're a motorhome or a camper vanner, let me know. I'm sure a lot of people will say, you know, oh, we never go on a site. We prefer to go on a site. I know when I do a post about where we've stopped, people will say, oh, there's a car park, you could have parked there for £5. And I always appreciate people adding that information because there's a lot of people that would rather spend £5.
And people watching the videos looking at that area, you know, that might be an option to them.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah, we just choose not to. And that is a personal thing because, you know, this motorhome, it's a big motorhome, it's an expensive motorhome. I just want to know I'm parked up, hopefully no one's going to reverse into me, damage the motorhome, and I know I can get my table and chairs out and do what I want. So it is totally personal preference. We always say, don't we, do what works for you. And that is the best thing.
You holiday how you want to
Yeah.
holiday.
So is it that people are using their leisure vehicles differently, so they're not on the campsites? More people maybe with the motorhomes, camper vans going to Europe potentially as well. So instead of being on our campsites, they're heading off for weeks, months, whatever it might be. It's quite interesting. People often then say, oh, well, I can stop in Europe for whatever cheaper. So again, I was thinking about this because we go to Europe a bit. I must say, last year we did Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and we were still paying 25 to 35 euros a night. So we're not talking masses of difference. Obviously, there are cheaper sites in Europe, I know. But the ones I would tend to book, I was looking at one last night, actually, in the south of France, 30 to 33 euros a night. So that's not massive to what we're paying here in the UK. To get to France, I've got to get on a ferry. Even if I drove down to Dover, which is miles from Yorkshire, I then got to pay £250 to get on a ferry. I've got to spend £250 to drive across France. And I've got tolls to pay. So I might save £5 a night, but I've just spent... So that's not...
All the stickers to put in the windows and everything else.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
but then again, you know, it's offset. You know, the price of fuel could be a lot cheaper over there. I don't know what it currently is at the moment.
I don't think it's massively different.
So, you know, it's,
Yeah.
it's these little things that, you know, add to the holiday, and people, you know, people don't realise that it is creeping up.
When we went to Sweden last year, we were there about 3 weeks, and that trip cost us, it was £800 for the ferry. We had the crossings for the bridge in Sweden. We had the campsites. I reckon that could have been £2,000 that trip, just to go to around, you know, touring Europe. So this isn't a cheap way to holiday, I don't think. And another thing, it's like quite one thing I see is people that a comment I see quite often is, well, you've just spent £120,000 on a motorhome or £50,000 on a caravan. Why are you complaining about £40 on a pitch? Good point, but the point someone else made was a lot of people that are buying those top-end vehicles could have cashed in a pension. So they bought it with their pension lump sum to buy their dream leisure vehicle.
Life savings.
But then they're actually living on a pension. Private pension, I don't know, £3,000 a month for argument's sake. God, everyone's different. But let's say, so you have actually still got a fixed income. Just because you've got that top-end motorhome or caravan and tow car doesn't mean that each month you've got a massive amount to live on. So you're still counting the pennies. So these are things that I often sort of do think about. So in terms of why are campsites empty or quieter, I think, yes, it's the price. I know for us, we've cut back and considered where we go. The cost of fuel's definitely affected us and made us cut back. So we are going away less based on cost. So that would be where we're at, and I imagine a lot of other people are in a similar position. Although some campsites are still packed, aren't they? In certain locations, it doesn't matter what price you put on it.
It's funny because we were filming this, and at the start of the week, it was quieter here.
Yeah.
And now, because there is a sea view, the weekend's coming, and it's busy. And we're saying we're doing this video, and it's busier now than
I'd
it
say
was.
this site's at 70% occupancy on a Thursday. It was at 30% when we arrived.
30% when we arrived. And
I'd
we
say
thought,
it's at
"Oh,
70% now."
work." But,
Yeah.
you know, the other side of the coin is we're less tied now because we don't have fudge. We keep looking at pets, we keep looking at dogs, but because we don't have him anymore, we're not as tied to sort of staying. Because that was another reason why we used the motorhome and the caravan, travelling with our family, with fudge. You know, it was quite important. Even when you're going abroad, you know, you can't. Well, I say you can't take your dog on the plane, but you know, you potentially
Some
can
airlines
nowadays.
you can, yeah.
But it's all different. So
Yeah.
that's another consideration. You know, people taking their pets away with them.
So this trip, so we've come away for 4 nights. We've had 2 nights at South Shields, which was £44 a night. We've had 2 nights at Berwick, £42 a night. So you're looking at like £140 for the campsite. Diesel, we've spent £150 on diesel, and I already had £30 in the tank. We ran out of, well, we didn't run out, but our AdBlue warning came on, so we've topped our AdBlue up. That was another £7.50. So £160, £140. So, you know, we're rocking on there. So we're already on.
This is the Yorkshire in us.
Yeah.
Talking money.
Yeah. So, so we've already spent nearly probably £350 on 4 nights, on campsites and fuel and AdBlue before we've even gone out for a meal. We've had 2 lunches out, fish and chips, £25 in a restaurant.
£24.40, yeah.
Cafe yesterday, another £25. So that's £50.
£8.50 for a jacket potato.
We're now at let's say it's £400 for 4 nights away. That's quite a lot of money, and that's why maybe campsites are empty or quiet. And it's not. I don't think it is what campsite owners are doing.
I think they're just making ends meet.
I think it's because of the general cost. But obviously, let us know in the comments what is the thing for you.
I wanted to mention as well is obviously campsites now looking at the feasibility of separating basically everything on the site. So their electricity paying for separately. Some sites even, you know, you've got to pay per person, per pet, per awning, per canopy. You know, it's breaking it down. But is that better for you? You know, is it better because you don't travel with all that, so it doesn't add the cost up, or do you have lots of those things and children and everything else, and the costs shoot through the roof? Because it's just an interesting one, I think, because there's only us 2 now, with no fudge. We travel around a lot, so we see it from a couple's perspective as to where we're going. But it'd be really interesting to see, you know, what's stopping people from coming away now, from your thoughts. So.
But it's quite funny. Yesterday afternoon, I'm sure a lot of us got an email from the Caravan and Motorhome Club from the Director General with some fabulous advice about how to save money on our fuel bills while travelling. I think all of us opened that email and thought they were going to tell us they were going to help us all out with a pitch reduction. No. The advice was drive slower, carry less weight, and stay longer on a site.
Good. They're all good points. They're all good points.
They're all good points, but I just thought, well, that hasn't saved me a penny. Because really, I said to Jules afterwards, I said, flipping it, I said, our Sportivo was a 3.5 ton motorhome, and we know because we went on a weighbridge. We were pretty near. We were about 50 kilos under our 3.5 tons, and we averaged about 26, 28 miles to the gallon. Our Travel Master is 4.5 tons. I think we're at maybe, I haven't been on a weighbridge, but we're well under because we've got a big payload on this one. But let's say even then, we're at 4,200 kilos, and I'm not sure. Let's say we're at that. What do we get to the gallon? 26, 27 miles to the gallon. So my 4.5 ton motorhome is literally costing me the same as my 3.5. So emptying my water tank or not taking some food in my fridge and buying food when I get to a supermarket nearby, it's not going to save me any money in my fuel tank. I just like, wow, okay. But there we go. And I've seen a Facebook post as well about that email, somebody else, and similar sort of feedback. It's like, that's not really helping, and it's not going to help. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds a bit doom and gloom, and that's why we don't do these sort of videos. But I think it's interesting, and it's interesting for people who own a campsite, who I'm sure will watch this video when they see the title, to find out why are they empty. And I understand the prices. I still think, surely, if you reduce your price midweek to get people on pitches, you're going to take more revenue. And surely you still it's got to be better than nothing. I don't know, but...
I don't really have a business brain or acumen.
I thought you were about to say I don't really have an opinion.
You know... But surely, a pitch that's got somebody on it's better than a pitch with nobody on it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the cost of the electricity and running that, I don't know. It'll be really interesting, but incentivise people to go away. And
actually, we have got nothing else booked. I haven't got another campsite booked, and that's not like me. I'm normally booked.
We're going from booking to booking, literally watching the weather.
Watching the weather.
Because that's another big thing.
Yeah.
The weather and how that's affected. Last year, it was cracking the flags most days.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
And you know, you could do it. Whereas now, it's almost a case of, you know, it's throwing it down. Do we really want to go away and spend that money?
£42 a night to sit in the motorhome in the rain.
In the motorhome, when I can sit at home watching TV the same as I can in the motorhome. I appreciate I'm somewhere else.
Yeah.
And when the rain stops, I can get out and walk and have a look. But
yeah, I think
it's playing a big part.
Yeah, and the weather's not been good this year. Is that another factor? I mean, I know we're fair weather campers in a way, in that, you know, if it's raining, I'm not going to go outside walking. I'm like, I haven't got a coat for that. But no, we do like good weather. We love it. Like yesterday, we were out on foot for hours. We went out 3 or 4 hours trotting round on foot around Berwick and loved it.
That was sort of mizzle coming in and out, and we were sort of dodging it. So, when the weather's nice, we want to get the bike out and go for a bike ride and, you know, take you along with us and do what we do. Go for a walk, find the local areas, eat out, do the local things. And the other thing is as well, is as un-Yorkshire as this is, when the sun's out, you do want to spend money. You want to go out, you want to explore, you want to, you know, see what's around.
That's why you buy a motorhome or a caravan or a camper, isn't it?
That's my thought.
That's you know, to enjoy that.
To explore the areas you want to explore at your pace, to do it that way. But
yeah, and it's one of those. I mean, I think equally, if there's a campsite you really want to go to and you can afford it. I mean, this is the thing as well. You sort of forget what's affordable for other people. I'm going on now, so but you do forget, and I see posts about, oh well, that's too expensive. There are people that have got the money to pay for pitches, and they continue to do so. There's people that may, like us, may reduce the number of nights but still pay because they want to go. Or there's some people that literally are totally priced out now, and they must be so disheartened by that, because it's easy to judge by your own standards what other people actually can realistically afford. So why are campsites empty? I think that's probably a summary of why they are empty. Those are the reasons behind why we've not gone away as much. And like I say, this year, at the moment, I'll play it by ear about when we make another booking and get away and do some stuff. And we are staying more local as well, definitely. And I want to go, I was saying earlier, I want to go around Scotland. I love going down to the southwest. We love going to Europe. But, I mean, the ferry for us over to Hull, from Hull to Rotterdam is £800 return when we want to go. We're booked to go in August because we're going to Caravan Salon. But £800 before I've even set off. Equally, if we go down to get a ferry, we've got to drive down to the south coast. How much is that in fuel? That's a couple of tanks of fuel there and back just for that bit. So yeah, there's other factors. Anyway, so there we go. So that's what we think about it. And we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? But if the campsites want to know why the campsite's empty, I think unfortunately there's a bit of a pinch at the moment, and it's in the pocket. Yes. So yeah, I don't think it's anything people are doing wrong running the sites. Absolutely not. People are just feeling it every way, shape and form, I think, at the moment. And I say that we don't normally do sort of videos like talk about prices of this and prices of that, and because it's one of those topics, as I say, we've got an opinion on it, and that is our opinion on it. That's it. and
I
other
think
people.
this just generally could be helpful to everybody, really, just to see what people do think about it.
What's gone wrong, really. Yeah, let us know. Share your comments so everyone can read them. Please don't all start arguing with each other. I know you will. It'll turn into a Facebook post, won't it? I love Facebook. But yeah, so just be polite, obviously, and, share your opinion, but always be polite and respectful of what other people think, because everyone's got an opinion. You might not like it, but everyone's got one. So yeah, there we go. Right, on that note, we're actually heading home now. We're going to head home. And that'll be
Got
it.
some gardening to do. The sun's been out, the rain's been out, so
yeah. Oh God, yeah, the grass.
That'll have shot up. So jobs to do, and then back out and about.
Yeah, and then we'll see where we end up next. I think we'll next be out in start of June. I haven't got anything booked, but start of June I think will be our next.
As we've said,
I've got nothing booked.
Keeping an eye on the weather.
Yeah, so start of June. So there we go. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.